guys, it's Sarah. Thank you so much for watching. So today I wanted to do a 2 looks 1 palette with the e.l.f. Opposites Attract eyeshadow palette. This is a pretty recent release from e.l.f. I was actually really excited about this palette. I think that this is the only e.l.f. palette I own. I did have a little quad from e.l.f. years ago and I remember it was pretty terrible. Like, it just didn't really show up at all. But I feel like they've really stepped up their game. I saw this palette and I just thought it was a really interesting color story, especially for the drugstore. I felt like it kind of had some like Subculture vibes to it, but like an even more interesting color story maybe. So there are 18 shades in this palette, which is kind of a lot. Half the shades are warm tones, half the shades are cool tones. If you look at it, it's a lot of shades, but I really like how they've made it as like sleek and slim and small as possible. This really isn't that much bigger than like an ABH palette, even though it has 18 shades, so they kind of maximize the space. I also really appreciate that it doesn't have like a little brush in there, because a lot of the times, especially when drugstore brands put brushes in their palettes, they're just like crappy sponge tip applicators that I never end up using anyway, and then there's like a whole extra space that's just kind of wasted. So I really appreciate that they just left that out. The only thing I will say, it doesn't have a mirror, which is kind of unfortunate, but I mean, I can live without it. It's not a huge deal. This palette retails for $14, which is, I mean, kind of a lot for a drugstore product, but you're getting 18 shades, so that's less than $1 per shadow. So yeah, I think that was about all I wanted to say about like the details of the palette. Let's go ahead and get into look number 1. Okay, so I'm starting out with just the Ulta Beauty Matte Eye Primer in Nude. This is my current eye primer that I'm using. I use it every time I do eyeshadow because it just helps things stay in place and not crease. I haven't tested the e.l.f. palette without primer, and I don't plan on it because I already know that if I wear any eyeshadow without primer, it's gonna just crease and wear off. So I'm just starting out with that. So for this look, I want to do kind of a holiday inspired look because that's the mood I'm in right now. So I'm kind of going to do a mix of warm and cool tones for this one. I'm going to start with Fresh. This is like kind of an eggshell cream color. It's not as light as like what I would use for a brow bone highlight. It's actually a little bit deeper than that. So I like to use it as a crease color or like a transition color to kind of warm up my crease. So I'm just taking a Milani Crease Brush and I'm going to just start to slowly build that up in my crease just to get things started, because most of the other mid-tone crease colors are a little dark. So this is a good way to kind of get that going for me without like going in with too much too fast. So now that I've got that in the crease, I am going to go in with Witty now, which is that slate gray kind of taupe matte shade, and I'm going to use my e.l.f. crease brush. I'm just going to kind of lightly tap into that because it is, I mean, most of these shadows, at least the ones that I've worked with so far, are really pigmented, so you don't need to like scrub your brush in there because they're already pretty pigmented as it is. I'm going to just slowly build this up in the crease. I guess I'll try to use as many e.l.f. brushes as possible too, since I'm using an e.l.f. palette. I feel like that makes sense. I'm going to take that Milani brush again and just go back into Fresh and kind of go over that a little bit to blend it out, make it look a little bit less harsh on my eyes. I feel like this Fresh shade is going to come in really handy for me. It's like a blending shade. For some skin tones, like deeper skin tones, that would be a good shade for a brow bone highlight. I know there probably are going to be some people complaining that there isn't a lighter cream color in here for a brow bone highlight, but honestly, I don't care. As a like super pale person, it doesn't bother me because I already have a million of those in other palettes, and so I don't feel like I need another one, and I think it's nice that they have a slightly deeper option because that'll work well on deeper skin tones. Okay, next I'm going to take this e.l.f. Detail Crease Brush. This brush I just recently got. This is like an even smaller crease brush than the regular crease brush from them, which is already kind of small. This one's even smaller, and I think I need like 6 of these, because it's just so nice for like outer corner work and also like smudging under the lower lash line. There's just so much you can do with this brush and I love it. I'm gonna go into the shade Wise, which is a really pretty like teal forest green. I'm just gonna lightly tap that onto my brush. Again, not going super hard into that shade because I don't want to get too much. And I'm just gonna start to build that up in the outer corner. And you'll see how this shade really does show up true to color. It doesn't just go on looking like a dark, murky shade. It actually looks like a deep forest green, which is awesome. I feel like a lot of times in like cheaper palettes and drugstore palettes, those kinds of shades don't show up true to color. So I'm mostly just packing that on the outer part of the lid. I love how this brush is like, even though it's so small, it's like kind of fluffy and tapered. So it just blends things out really nicely. And then I'm just gonna slowly blend that into the crease, but not too much. Okay, then I'm gonna take my tried and true e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. This is just their $1 flat shader brush. I use this brush like every single day. I recently bought another one because it's just nice to have an extra. And I'm gonna go into the shade Spicy, which is the gold in this palette. It's kind of a bronzy gold. I'm just going to pack that all the way from the inner corner to the center of the lid. I feel like I'm gonna need to kind of clean up these edges a little, but that's fine. I'm gonna take my 100% pure cream shadow stick. This is probably one of the last times you'll see this because this is seriously almost gone. I'm just gonna smudge this on the lower lash line. Then I'm gonna take that same e.l.f. detail crease brush again. I'm gonna dip back into Witty and kind of start to smudge that on my lower lash line. I'm taking that all the way from the inner to the outer corner. I am going to take a little bit more of Spicy and just kind of focus that on the center of my lower lash line. Kind of open up my eyes a little bit. That came out so southern. Ooh, yeah. So for my inner corner highlight, I'm actually going to use this e.l.f. glitter liner in the shade Shimmering Gold. I'm just going to kind of lightly draw that on the inner corner. It actually matches that Spice shade pretty well. It's just like more of a glittery version of that. I'm actually gonna just take this kind of onto the inner third of my lid as well, because why not? I feel like if this is kind of a holiday inspired look, then I might as well go for the glitter, go for the gold. I'm also kind of taking this down onto the lower lash line as well, just a little bit around that inner corner. This is one of those liners that you have to like dip into 1,000 times to build it up, but I think it costs like, what, $2? So I guess that's okay with me. I feel like it got a little messy on this one, but you know what? That's what glitter is for. For the purposes of highlighting my brow bone, I'm just gonna use the Wet n Wild Brulee single shadow. I'm also gonna take that and use it to kind of clean up this outer edge. All right, I think this is one of those looks that kind of like finally comes together when you put on mascara. I hope at least. So I'm just gonna use my CoverGirl Supersizer mascara. I think I'm just gonna do the upper lashes. So I think that since this is such a holiday look, I'm gonna go for a red lip because I just can't not. So I'm gonna do Madame Glam Cherry Wine. This is new to me. They actually sent this over to me a couple of weeks ago. I'm gonna start off with the Milani lip liner in True Red. I'll just leave it like that. That's good. This is one of their matte lipsticks, but it's actually, it has a kind of creamy texture despite being matte, which I can really appreciate. Okay, so I think that is that finished look number uno. Alright, so we are on to look number 2. It is a different day. Obviously, the sun is out. Well, the sun isn't out, but it's daytime. I already, of course, primed my eyelids with the Ulta Matte Eye Primer in Nude, and I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do for this look right now, but I think I wanna do something with the purples because I feel like the purples are kind of a big reason why I got this palette. I mean, I know there's only 2 really deep violet purples in here. I do also wanna say, even though this video is 2 looks, 1 palette, I also did another look using this palette for Instagram, for like a mini Instagram video. I'm pretty sure that video will be up on Instagram before this video goes up. Hopefully I can plan it that way. So if it is up, I'll, you know, my Instagram handle is always linked down below, but I'll put that on the screen as well in case you want to see another look. But in that look I used Daring was kind of like the star of the show, and that actually turned out a lot more like plummy than I expected it to. I thought that that was just going to be more like a neutral taupe, but on the lid it showed up very like almost purpley and plummy. So that was one look that I did that was kind of on the purpley side. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and start like I usually do with the shade Fresh. and just kind of blend that into the crease. I feel like using this shade just kind of makes it possible for everything else to blend better. It's like just ever so slightly deeper than my skin tone, and I like it for just like getting the crease started. Okay, I want to use the shade Calm. This is gonna probably be a very cool toned look today, but I want to dip into Calm. This is like a true gray. I was thinking, like, even though gray doesn't seem or look like that out of the box or like that different, it's really rare to see like a true gray in a palette. Like, we see a lot of taupes, we see a lot of, well, we definitely see a lot of like warm browns, warm taupes, the occasional cool taupe, but like gray is just kind of weird. Like, it's not something you see very often. And it's not that it's like that strange of a color, but I feel like it's probably a little bit harder to make it look good on the eyes because it's not one of those colors that like looks crazy natural on human skin, maybe is what I'm trying to say. This brush is like, I think it got bent or something. This is one of those Eco Tools brushes that I've had for like 10 years. But yeah, I'm just kind of slowly building that into the crease. It's definitely kind of creating like a line in the crease. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not the easiest shade to blend, and that could just be because it's gray. Also, this brush is messed up. I think it got like smushed or something. Let me get a different one. Going back in with this Milani fluffy-ish crease brush. So I feel like that shade, and probably any gray shadow, is best applied like built up very slowly. Taking this e.l.f. detail crease brush again, and I'm just gonna kind of try to like build that up a little bit more in the outer V as well. This brush is so good. I swear I need to buy like 4 more of these. Now I'm just taking that e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, the flat shader brush, and I'm gonna go into Chill, which is like a shimmery violet. I don't think I've worn this shade on my eyes yet, so I'm really curious to see how it goes on, if it goes on as vibrant as it looks. It's almost a bluish purple. It's kind of like an indigo, but I do not dislike it. I think it's pretty. I mean, definitely out of my comfort zone. I don't normally put like a colorful shade like all over my lid like this, but I'm liking it. So now I'm like itching to use the shade called Low Key. This is the shade that I think is really, really similar to the shade Cube in Subculture. That's what that looks like. It's like a white pink duochrome. It's definitely one of those shades that like swatches super weird, but it's so pretty layered over things. I want to use this as an inner corner highlight today. I also want to show you guys this as a face highlight because I tried that the other day. I already have some highlight on, but I want to layer this on top and show you what that looks like because it looks super cool. But I'm just taking my Eco Tools smudge brush and I'm just going to place this on the inner corner, and then I'm also going to kind of layer it onto a little bit overlapping with that purple shade on the lid. It's one of those shades that's like subtle yet bold. And it really doesn't look like much in the pan either. In the pan it just looks white with like a little shimmer. I'm gonna take like a tiny shader brush from Eco Tools as well and just kind of pack that on the inner third of my lid. Just kind of brighten things up a little bit. The shade definitely takes a lot of layering. It doesn't have a ton of like pigmentation, but I feel like that's probably just kind of the nature of a shade like that, because the one in Subculture isn't very pigmented either. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I feel like, I feel like I could use a little bit more like impact from that shade, but I do want to show you how it looks as a face highlight because it looks awesome. If you have this palette, or even if you have Subculture, I'm sure you could do this with that too. You need to try this. Okay, so I'm just taking my Real Techniques setting brush, which is the brush I always use for highlight. It's kind of like one of those holographic highlighters. It looks so cool. And the thing about it is it doesn't look crazy either. Like, I don't look like I'm wearing some kind of like rainbow highlighter or anything. Like, it's like subtle but super cool too. So it's a really cool way to like multi-purpose this palette. I mean, you can always wear an eyeshadow as a highlighter or blush or bronzer, whatever you want, but like I usually don't. But now I need to, this is just so cool. I feel like I'm gonna like fly through that shade now because I'm just using it so much. I don't know, maybe it looks kind of weird on the nose, but I really like it as a cheek highlight. It is just so cool. Okay, so I just had to show you that because that was something that I kind of experimented with the other day and I was like, whoa, that looks awesome. And like, yeah, I don't know if you can even really tell. on camera, but you guys have to try it. Since there's no brow bone highlight shade in this palette for my skin tone, I'm just gonna use my Wet n Wild Brulee because I have it and it works for this. I'm gonna smudge the shade called Genuine. This is like almost black, but not quite. I'm gonna smudge that on the lower lash line, just the outer like half. Ooh, that my brush picked up a lot and I like barely tapped it in there. I'm just gonna really try to lightly smudge this on the lower lash line. I don't want to go too heavy. This eye look is already turning out really heavy. Yeah, even though that's not like quite a black color, it definitely has a lot of impact. All right, so there's that. Now I'm gonna take that same brush and dip into Easygoing, which is a matte purple, similar to Chill, except that it's matte. It looks really vibrant in the pan. And I'm just gonna tap a little of that on my brush. I feel like I need to get a clean brush for this actually. And kind of smudge that in the center of my lower lash line and like the inner half. Kind of overlapping that with Genuine, just smudging it all across. I feel like with this palette, I've noticed I tend to go for more like really smoky looks, just because overall the shades do kind of lean dark. So it definitely like pushes me out of my comfort zone a little bit. Okay, so I think that's just about it for the shadows I'm gonna use on my eyes. I'm just gonna finish off with the Covergirl Supersizer mascara, and then we'll come back for lips. All right, so I just did mascara on the upper and lower lashes. Now I'm just gonna finish off with this Ulta Nude, what is this? Ulta Nude lipstick in the shade Pink Chocolate. I think they actually discontinued this, but it's just a really pretty like brownish, pinkish neutral. You probably have something like this in your collection, I'm sure. Alright, so I know I'm really up close, but there's the finished look number 2. I like it. I mean, it's dark, it's dramatic for me, but I don't dislike it. I think it's pretty. So yeah, that's my 2 looks 1 palette with this palette. Again, like I said, I do have another look with this palette going up on my Instagram, so make sure you check that out if you want to see like another way to use it. I feel like in general with this palette, I usually end up with something a little bit more deep and dramatic than what I normally do, but that's really okay with me. I mean, I feel like this palette kind of pushes me a little bit outside of my comfort zone, and I've just been having a lot of fun playing with it. So I feel like all of the shadows in here that at least that I've used so far have been really good quality. I've also swatched all of them and they're all pretty pigmented and smooth and just nice texture. So I feel like e.l.f. has really stepped it up. I remember back in the day, I used to have like an e.l.f. It was probably like a 24 pan palette or 32 pan palette or something from them. It was just not great quality. And so I feel like that kind of like turned me off from really wanting to try a lot of e.l.f. eyeshadows. I know I've heard a lot of really good things about their 10 pan palettes, but this is the first palette they've come out with in a while that's like really grabbed my attention. And so I'm glad that I decided to get it. Again, it's $14, which is a little bit pricier than what e.l.f. prices used to be, but it's also, at least for this product, it's much higher quality than what I remember a lot of their old products being like. So yeah, I feel like this is a really good find. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to continue using it. I feel like this is a palette that I'm gonna get a lot of use out of, and there's just so many different unique looks I could do with it. Even though it's kind of a large palette in terms of the number of shades, I don't own a lot of palettes that have quite this many shades in them. Well, they did a really good job keeping it kind of compact and sleek, and so I really appreciate that. But anyway, those are kind of my thoughts on the palette, at least so far. I hope you enjoyed the 2 looks. Hopefully if you have this palette, it gave you some ideas for ways to use it, and if you don't have it, maybe it helps you decide whether you want to get it or not. But anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you plan on picking up this palette or if you have it already, and let me know your thoughts, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.